Started. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming in today. Very exciting time in our lives as we get through the summer and everybody's moving and everybody's wanting to close on their house before school starts, et cetera, et cetera. A little story about me. I left town. As you guys know, we didn't have a meeting last week. I was in Dominican Republic and I was scheduled to come back Sunday night. There were some transportation issues, let's say, at the airport. And I had to stay an extra 2 days to get on a flight. So, I mean, there are worse places to be stranded, I suppose, but without plans or anything else, it was kind of, it was interesting. So I got back in last night around midnight and here I am. I look great though, so I'm ready to go. All right. So tell me a little bit. It's not going to be a super long meeting today. I've got a lot of, as you guys can imagine, I'm way behind on everything. So I'm sorry for those of you who, if I'm missing something for you, if I'm behind on something of yours, I will get to it as soon as we get done here, we get started. So how can I, well, first of all, does anyone have anything they want to share on the market? What's going on? What you're seeing in the market before we go through the numbers? Anybody? Don't make me call you out individually. Yes.
Hi, Sanji. I recently had a listing on the market. We got multiple offers in Deltona because it was priced at 254. So of course it's still a crazy price point for the market. But I was super excited that the highest and best offer was an FHA offer and that my seller accepted it. So that's making me be a little bit more optimistic about our market being a little more normal. So just wanted to share that if you had buyers that were thinking about it or have left the market because it was too crazy over the last year, now may be a time to get back in because we actually had two high FHA offers and a list price cash offer, and the seller chose the higher FHA offer. So I'm excited for that.
Well, that's fantastic. There is nothing that we love more than a even market. Unfortunately, it's like a seesaw. It's always going one way or the other. It seems like it rarely holds steady there in the middle for long. But yeah, we're definitely headed swinging back that way, and who knows where it goes from here. You're saying it looks better for buyers. Pollock is on here saying her buyer clients went on hold. I assume that's interest rate driven. Maybe some uncertainty driven, but there's lots of good stuff going on, guys. There's lots of reasons for optimism. There's jobs are coming to the Orlando and Tampa areas. People are still coming to it. We still have unbalanced supply and demand. We have a lot of demand still, and so it's good for us. I don't know if you guys saw the thing. I don't know if it was Inman or the realtors put out about the slowest growing states and the ones that houses are on the market the longest. States like a lot of northern states, obviously, because people are moving south as they always have and always will. New York was, I think, number one. Hawaii was up there too, and then it was a lot of Midwestern and Northeastern states because people are coming to Florida. That's why we have unbalanced. We have more people wanting to live here than we do wanting to leave. So. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the Bipartisan Chips and Science Act. A lot of that's supposed to come to our area for growth. A lot of it is, some of it's going to be NASA driven and Space Coast driven, but a lot of it is Orlando as well. Tampa's got a lot of exciting stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff that is exciting going on, but you guys have got to get, if you guys don't have some optimism toward this market, there is a lot of things to be optimistic about here. There's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of demand, but there's a lot more flexibility. I mean, when's the last time you guys did an FHA deal? Been a long time, hasn't it? Has it been within a year?
My seller accepted an FHA deal too, recently.
There you go, recently. But before that, how long was it, Tammy?
Probably 6 or 8 or 12 months. Who knows? A long time.
Probably, yeah. Well, you know how you say something was 6 months ago and you look back and it was 14 months ago. It's usually that kind of thing. And it's been a long time since I've heard you guys do that. And, we go in and sometimes I'll have to go in and review the stuff for you guys. I can't tell you the last time I saw an FHA VA rider. You just don't see them. There's been some VA deals done, but FHA I haven't seen in a long time. So that's kind of exciting, right? That's a great loan for people. That brings a lot of buyers into the market. How many of you guys normally, you guys see a lot of, 3 years ago, you guys saw a lot of FHA loans, right? That brings a whole pool of buyers into the market. People now is where your rent versus own works with people, right? Because that hasn't been the case the last couple of years. You can't just, if you're, what do we talk about? If you're broke, and you guys have been on here talking about how can I help this buyer? They this. Well, do they have 50 grand cash? Because otherwise they're just hoping, and they're wasting your time and their time. So this is great. It brings a whole, I love hearing that, because it brings a whole another group of buyers in. These are the people who haven't been able to save up a lot of money and sometimes do live paycheck to paycheck, but they can do FHA and they can own a home, which is the dream. And it also is what we do for a living. So that's exciting stuff. I love hearing that. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, so we're seeing that, you're hearing about inventory going up. It is taking longer to sell things, but at least in the last 7 days, inventory's gone down just by looking at the numbers. But more price decreases than sales or new listings, which is what you guys are starting to see, the price decreases. Now, that does not mean what a lot of people mean. Everything has to, like this, hey, somebody said gas prices haven't dropped this fast in 20 years or something. Well, they had to get up to drop, right? So these prices had to be inflated for everybody to be decreasing them. So you guys know what it was like. Well, right, Lori just wrote, but so many were overpriced to begin with. Yes. So this is not like most statistics, they can certainly fool you if presented in a certain way. And yeah, price decreases because you guys went to your sellers a couple of months ago when the market was just starting to cool down, and their neighbor sold their house 3 months ago for $585. So I think we should get, 600. And now it's still worth 580, right? Or 575 or whatever it was ever worth. So, yeah, those kind of prices are going to be dropping. A lot of people overpriced, based on, hey, if it's going up, it's going to keep going up. So if they sold 6 months ago for 585, I should get 625 now, right? Because that's the way things were going for a little bit. A year ago, it was worth 525. Now it's worth 625, but that's not the way it works. So yes, so a lot of them are dropped like that. A lot of you guys have gone in wisely and said, hey, let's list this thing for 3 weeks at 625. And if that doesn't work, let's drop it down to 595 or, something like that. And so that's been causing a lot of that. It's 5,100 in this area in the last 7 days in our MLS area. New listings, 4,400, sales, 4,600, pending, 4,400 in the last 7 days. Those are good numbers, lots more sales and pendings than back on markets and new listings. So, and 800 cancellations. So things are going towards the buyers. Inventory went down a little bit this week, but that's not on the whole. I bet if we went back a month, it would be different. But that's something to get excited about. So there's more inventory. There's more buyer friendly. It's a more even market, guys. These are great things for us. We don't thrive on whether the market is a seller's market or a buyer's market. We have to make the transactions happen. We have to help people buy or sell their homes, and it doesn't. All those things, just take them into consideration. So if you need to warn your sellers too. If your buyers are getting stronger, that means your sellers are getting weaker. It's always like I said, it's always a seesaw, right? So if your buyers are getting more bargaining power, then your sellers are getting less, and you're going to have to warn them that, no, we can't sell this house and then still live in it for 2 months. And, we can't set all the terms for the buyer. The buyer actually has some swing now, as you see, which is why people are accepting FHA loans when they didn't have to before. All right. Any other comments or questions about the market? Who has a difficult listing right now or a difficult transaction? I don't normally ask for those. You guys usually volunteer. There's Tammy.
I do. It's a stupid one. I have a $98,000 piece of land out in Christmas with a trailer on it with a family member living in there, and the trailer's like uninhabitable. So they don't have the title to the trailer. And the title company just told me that the buyer could agree to have that removed off of the title policy and we just sell it as land. Do you see that to be a problem if the buyer took that on to get the trailer out of there without any kind of title? Is that an issue?
It's an issue.
To get a duplicate title, do you just go down to the DMV, or how does that work?
Is the trailer? It's well. In land, we call that incidental to the value. So the trailer is incidental to the value, meaning it's of no value.
Yeah, and it's a cash deal. So
right. It's incidental to the value of the property. So that's not a problem. The problem is there's a person squatting on it.
No, he's getting out, so that won't be a problem.
When he's out,
it was just we don't have the title, and is that going to be a problem? Not that I'm the selling agent, but for the buyer, would that be a problem not having a title? Yeah,
you're the listing agent. Would it be a problem? Why can't they? Are they going to just scrap it? They're going to scrap it, right?
Yeah, it needs to be hauled off.
Okay, I don't think that's a problem to haul off something and to never be used again, hauled off to a junkyard or something.
Yeah, or company do it for free. There's people. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody will salvage something out of it. Yeah.
Right.
No, why? You don't need a tag to be. You don't need a tag to be towed.
Okay.
So no. I don't foresee that being a problem. Just it's incidental to the value. I'd almost have the seller get rid of it, honestly.
Well, they have no money. It's an estate, blah, blah.
Fair enough.
But I was going to ask you something. Yeah.
I would have, what I would do as a listing agent, and I know this is a $98,000 piece of property, but as a listing agent, I would talk to some people about, be able to present the buyer with, okay, this is vacant land, guys. Vacant land does not sell easily. Vacant land sits on the market. You got to find the perfect buyer for it, right? Somebody who's willing to build and somebody who's got typically the cash to buy it, then they're willing to build and stuff like that. So, I
guess we could offer to take a couple of $1,000 off if they're willing to close without it.
But why? So that's what I'm getting at. But why would you do that if you can make a couple phone calls?
It's got a well, it's got 2 sheds, it's
perfect. Those are all great selling things. But the way you presented to me before is it's got a problem. But what I would do is call one of these companies that will agree to haul it off and say, look, I've already talked to ABC trailers and they're willing to haul it off for free. And you'll have a well and you'll have this and this and this. So when you do build, you've already got some infrastructure in there. Right. And
so this is what else happened. So I called the MLS because when I was entering it in, I was like, I don't want to put room sizes. The trailer is of no value, and that's how we're marketing it. So MLS told me, well, if the trailer is inhabitable, you can list it as land. So I listed it as land. Somebody sent me a land contract and someone sent me an as-is contract. Well, when I looked at the land contract, I'm like, this is going to be a problem because somebody's living in this trailer, even though it's not livable, somebody's living in there, and the land contract doesn't address that. But the other girl sent me an as-is contract, which kind of addresses that. So, but MLS told me I could list it as land. So what do you think? Do you think I did the right thing or the wrong thing?
You did fine, but quit calling it uninhabitable because it's inhabited. So it's not uninhabitable.
But it's pretty bad. Someone looked at it because I haven't even looked at it. He goes, somebody looked at it. I'm like, was it bad? She goes, yeah, it was pretty bad. So yeah.
Okay. So
the floors are falling through, the roof leaks.
Okay. Talk to the local government. I'm gonna skip over that. Talk to the local governmental agency. What county is it in? Oh, Christmas.
Orange.
Okay.
Orange, yeah.
So contact Orange County and ask them if they would have to, if you have to pay impact fees, since somebody's already got a well and everything there, if you have to pay impact fees if you build a new house there.
Yeah, somebody wants to bring in a trailer. That's the buyers that are buying it want to bring in a new trailer.
Okay.
Or manufactured home. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. But that would be their responsibility for their due diligence, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. But I'm asking, asking you because if they say no, we don't have impact fees. Well, you just save somebody $15,000 to $18,000 on if they want to go in and build a house there.
True.
So I mean that's another selling point. So I mean, it takes selling points to sell land. because,
Correct.
you want to stand out. Yes, Romina.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Well, I do have an interesting listing because it is a 300,000 condo in Celebration. But this is what happened. The sellers are from Spain. They don't want to be, they don't want to, the FERPTA to withhold, the percentage. So we listed just under 300 to 900. So the property is very 100% renovated. Everything, 100%, everything is new. So they wanted to see, well, I just listed last night, but they want me to get an offer. So let's say somebody offers 315,000, for example, because the least amount in Celebration now is 335, the same size and everything. So let's say somebody offers 315. So they want me to try to use the money, not for the purchase price, obviously, because it cannot go above 300,000, but we're gonna try to do like an addendum where the buyer will pay the buyer's agent's commission. So that's where I'm at right now. So trying to do that. So if somebody offers 315, I just got a phone call. I put myself on mute, but when I got the phone call, she says, okay, so my buyer wants to put an offer on the property. So if I do that, I have never done it, but I just thought about it when I was talking to the seller. So what do you think I should do that it makes it easier?
I think that's an attorney question, because I don't want to be giving advice about how to get around FERPTA. That's the IRS and everything else, and I don't know. So they're going to have to live in the property. The buyer's going to live in the property.
Yeah, but you're not getting around FERPTA. It's totally legal to do it. It's not it's just selling the property under 300, and the person who's going to buy is going to live on it.
Okay, and they're going to pay their everyone's commission, or they could pay everyone's commission if you want.
That would be their closing costs. They agree to pay the closing costs of your commission, maybe that way.
Yeah, they could pay everybody's commission.
Right.
I mean, they said instead of putting 315 on the purchase price, so it's still the price will be 300, but they agreed to pay buyers and sellers commission or whatever it is.
That's fine.
And they could pay the title policy too. If it's a higher offer, you could start adding in expenses.
Exactly. So that way we keep it under. It's nothing, obviously, it's perfectly fine and legal, but it's just a way to get the money for the seller without obviously making anything illegal.
Yeah. If that's what you're doing, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So
so they can do it, but just make sure make sure with the title company it's worded properly. It's worded properly and it's handled properly, because you don't want everybody to be disappointed at the end if it comes out, if it's done the wrong way.
So the offer an addendum saying buyers agree to pay buyers and sellers agents commission of, let's say, $15,000, $18,000. It's 6%.
Right.
So
so just make their price, $297 or whatever it is, but based on paying the commission for the 315.
Yeah, well, the price will be exactly.
Is it a cash offer?
No,
or no, financed offer.
No, the we just go is finance, conventional.
Okay.
But I already told her. I said this is what the sellers are looking for. So if they're gonna offer whatever the amount, so I just wanted to let you know that's the way they're gonna work it out and see what happens. But yeah, never did it before. I just thought it was okay to do that way.
It is absolutely.
All right.
Angie, Tammy, I have a similar listing. I put on vacant land listing, but wrote in realtor remarks to use as is residential contract at the advice of my title officer. Okay. Lori, what is in my list?
Yeah, I had contact in Nishad, and I was willing to pay like a 30-minute consult, but he hadn't gotten back with me. And then once I saw the as is contract, I thought to me, this is really the way to go. It addresses the tenant and the property, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we recently did a commercial land, 2 parcels of land and a restaurant building, and just did it all on one commercial contract. Just the whole thing on there. Didn't address vacant land individually, just that it went 2 separate parcels. Also went with the, which is where most of the value is, also went with the restaurant. Okay, any other questions or comments on that stuff?
I do have a listing right now. It's been, I think, in the market for 50 days now. First they had the panels, the price was a little higher, so we brought the price down to $450, and we did open house this weekend. An offer came in, but it came for $415, and they're asking that the seller pays the panels as well. So now the seller doesn't want to do that. I keep receiving, I mean, it's been showing quite a bit every week, but the feedback from most of the agents that have shown it say that the layout is too small, or the rooms are too close together. Those are things that goes off the hand for everybody. And we haven't received anything else. This offer came in $315. We're negotiating, but the pre-approval, it's not that great. And so I'm not sure if we should, continue negotiating this. I asked for proof of funds. It seems like it's a foreign buyer, one of the buyers at least. And I asked for approval funds because they said they couldn't close the previous deal because the money had not been there for the 2 months. And I got the approval funds, but the money went into the account in June 16. So they're still off. And I'm guessing that the lender is hoping that by the end, by the time we're closing, he's putting a closing day of August 25th. By then, the money had been there on the account for the 2 months. But we're going to be depending completely on the bank if we take that offer.
Yeah, so nobody knows this, but Juliana and I have been going back and forth on this on email. You don't have a negotiated deal with them yet, right?
Well, they sent something new last night saying that they are willing to do $450, but they want the seller to pay the panels. Okay.
It sounds like, we always talk about this on here, but when things aren't selling, if they're not showing, then they're not priced right. If they're showing and not selling, it's because they're not showing well for whatever reason. Like you said, it's a weird layout. The bedrooms are too close, whatever it is, right? It's something. So I think your prices, you're going to have to meet their price. It sounds like that might be your best deal. That's a quick close. 22 days from now, 3 weeks from now. I think you're worrying a little too much about if it's been on the market 50 days, it's your first contract. I think you're worrying a little too much about the strength of the buyers. If I don't care that their money got there on June 16th, that's 45 days ago now. So they're about. I wouldn't hesitate from that deal. That deal doesn't scare me. Knowing what I know, I've been back and forth with you on this. That deal, I would go forward with them if your seller's happy with what they're offering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't let the weird financing, I wouldn't let it bother me too much on this deal that's been sitting there. You're risking 21 days on something that's been sitting there for 50 already.
50. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
I have a question. Ryan.
Yes, Carolina.
How are you? How's everyone?
Everybody's good.
So sorry for being late. I'm assuming it's at about the market. So I just wanted to double check with you guys about a listing that I'm going to be putting on the market on Saturday in Mineola. And the home is a 2004, no updates. And the seller wants me to list it for $430,000. I did get some comps in the area, new homes and more homes that have been updated. What are people's thoughts on overpricing homes nowadays?
What did you say the comps were? You said you got some comps, but what did you say?
Actually, I did get a comp for 430. Actually 440. It was a new home, and then I had another one that was 429.9, and that one was updated. This home I'm listing, original roof, original AC, original everything. It looks good. It was well maintained, and the paint is good. Everything is good, except no updates. And I don't know. I'm just wondering.
What is the roof? How old is the roof?
Original, 2004.
Does that make it?
18 years old.
Oh, 18 years.
Yeah. They're not going to get insurance with that roof.
I know.
You know they're not going to get insurance with that roof, or the buyers are going to have a really high. You might want to call and get. You might either want to do a 4-point, get some insurance quotes. But
You sound really, really bad. I don't know if it's my connection or yours.
That's Tammy. Something's wrong with Tammy's.
Okay.
really, okay.
Yeah. But she's right. I can understand her. So you're not going to get insurance with it. And I think you know that. But
Yes.
Because that roof could vote if it were a person now. So it's 18. It's an adult. So you're going to have to replace that roof, and or get some kind of plan to replace that roof and sell it with a new roof and sell it for 430. I don't think your comps are that far off. But to answer your question, we're all in agreement that we're against overpricing houses. It's a good way to just have them sit in this market, because it's not going to get done. And you missed the stats part of the meeting where we went over the stats from the week. There's over 5,000 price reductions, only 4,400 sales. There's significantly 20% more price reductions in sales. So
wow.
That's
okay.
More things are getting dropped prices than are closing.
Okay. So that was my concern. So I don't know what other agents and you feel about. Well, first of all, it's going to be a problem with the insurance. Second of all, I don't know if she should list it less and offer a credit and have the buyer do it. She's not going to do it. She doesn't have the finances. So this is not one that is going to get anything done now, Tammy, at all.
Can you hear me or no? Can you hear me or no?
We can hear you. You still sound really weird.
Yes.
Weird, huh? I just had a deal like that, and they're not going to be able to get insurance. It's going to be outrageous. So that's the problem. And if you take a cash offer, you'll be fine. If you take a financed offer, it's going to be a problem, probably.
Really bad, Tammy.
Yeah, you're not going to. It's highly unlikely it's going to be a cash offer of $430,000 in Mineola. So I would say that you're going to have to do that. Now there are companies, Carolina, I understand their financial problem, but there's companies that will do that based on the sale and get paid at closing. So
okay.
Yeah, you guys have shared them on there a million times. I think Tammy's probably typing it now. Somebody's probably typing it. Put it in the chat. Somebody, I forget the name of it, but they're out there. They do it. They've done a good job branding themselves because a lot of people know who they are. But there's multiple companies who will do that.
So the contingency would be roof replaced by closing because of insurance, or
yeah, I wouldn't say we'll I would say getting a brand new roof.
Okay. And so there's nothing wrong with the roof, but I get it. It's an old roof.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, yep. So.
But you could do a 4th point, because the house that I had the roof problem with, the guy got insurance
Tammy,
on it.
I'm gonna have to call you after this call.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to call you because you sound really, really bad. But I will call you.
She sounded good earlier. I don't know what happened to her.
Bring your buyers, Mineola, 430,000.
Curio, thank you, Angie. Curio for home repairs and pay at closing. It's expensive though. Well, you can escrow roof funds for after closing. So you can do that too. So what happens is they'll get I don't know. It's Curbio. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I just saw that. I don't believe. Tammy says Alan's ripping. You can read the chat. I just saw something, guys. I don't believe you can do the 30 days of just excluding the roof for 30 days anymore. I think that's part of the new package, is that they lessened the requirements for the roof. But I don't think you can do the exclusion for 30 days anymore, put the roof funds in escrow. I'm not sure about that. I'll check into that.
Actually, you can. I just had one person, they gave her 60 days. And she closed on the home, and the insurance told her if she doesn't get the roof done within 60 days, she's going to be canceled.
When did you do this, Carolina?
Just now.
Okay.
They closed on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's something with the new legislation. There's some kind of restriction on that now, because I think people were taking advantage of it. Any other questions or comments? Any other listings you guys want to talk about? Open houses. Guys, you're gonna have to start doing open houses again.
Yes, sir.
I know that sounds like work, but that's actually opportunities, guys. You get opportunities to do open houses. I mean, you guys are going to be baking cookies again and all kinds of stuff. You have all that to look forward to, but get those houses smelling like those baked cookies, and actually you have to work on a listing and represent the buyers. Yes.
I have a seller that I am working with. I don't have the listing yet because it's half hers and half in her ex-husband's trust, and the PR is being ridiculous about it and won't put the house through probate. So we're kind of, it's messy. And from what I've read up on it and talked to a couple of different probate lawyers, there's really nothing my seller can do until the PR puts the house through probate. Because we don't have any documents from his passing because she's not sharing anything. So I don't know, unless you know anything further that we could do. I don't know how she can push it like through herself without having any of his will, the documents, stuff like that. So
I don't either, and I hate to give this answer so often, but you're going to need an attorney for that, Lori, because the PR is, to my understanding, I'm not an attorney, the PR is like you're dealing with him himself. So you've almost got like a husband and wife who the wife wants to sell and the husband doesn't, because that's what the PR says. I think though that's not the end of it in this case, like it would normally be in a marriage. So I think there's an attorney that needs to be involved with this on her behalf.
Agreed. And like everybody that we've talked to wants like basically about $10,000 up front to do it, and she doesn't have $10,000 laying around to do it. So, and it'll be 2 years in November that the ex has passed. That's how long this has been going on.
You don't think anybody will take that case on a not contingency, I don't want to say, but to get paid with success?
I've called probably 5 or 6 different attorneys, and I've gotten no's from everyone so far.
I would think somebody would be, I mean, if they would hear her out, she may have to pay for a consultation. I think that somebody would be willing to do that.
Yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to
even if it's a few extra bucks, even if you say, look, we'll give you 20% more than your fee if you wait till closing.
Hey, Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Chuck Jackson, and I work with a probate lawyer. So if you want to talk maybe after this, maybe I can get them to help her out.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I feel so sorry for her. It's like her hands are tied. She owns, half this house and she can't do anything about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Give me a call afterwards. And then I'll put my number in the chat.
Okay.
And then I'll see, I'll get some information, talk with them real quick and see if it's something they'd be willing to talk to. I know they give a free consultation, so at least you get an answer one way or the other.
It is in Palm Harbor. I don't know if that's going to make a difference.
Doesn't matter. They're licensed in all counties in Florida.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks.
Great job. Great job. Any other questions or comments? That's it, huh? No, nothing else for anything for FRI? Any questions on that? Anything on what we're doing, how we're doing?
I have a question.
Yes.
And thank you in advance, Ryan, for trying to, well, you'll set me up and get me into these portals on Prime.
I just got an email that you are set up on Prime Street now.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And at Op City, my question is, how many here have actually experimented working with Prime City or the Prime Street, that is an Op City, for lead generation? I'm going to look into both of them, but I'm wondering if anybody's worked with both and have kind of pros and cons on either one.
Tammy, go ahead. I know you've done quite a bit.
Can you hear me though? Or am I still weird?
Yeah,
much
sound
better.
normal now. Yeah.
Okay, good. No, I do Op City. I didn't do Prime Street because I don't know, their app was a little too cumbersome in my opinion. But I get Op City leads. I think I've closed 12 or something through Op City in the last few years. So yeah, you get leads through Op City for sure.
Okay.
You're claiming them though, and I think the older your phone is, the longer it takes to I don't know. It doesn't. When I get a new phone, it seems I can claim them and beat people. But as my phone gets older, it's like, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? I mean, it's like I'm right there. So
sounds like they expect you to be pretty quick.
Oh yeah, you have to be quick because you're claiming it. You're up against
seconds.
people.
Yeah.
They're going to get
immediate. It has to be immediate. As soon as it comes in, you have to do it.
Okay.
Make sure that you do it depending on the way you get on Op City. It's going to depend on if you're getting leads. I still don't get any, and I still can't get them until I do 3 rentals. Sorry, can't do 3 rentals.
Well, you don't have to do 3 rentals, just 3 deals with them. That's it. 3 closings of any kind. Lori, I know people are all over the chat with this. Malvis has done Prime Street. She's done well with that. Lori, you joined Prime Street not that long ago. She's closed 4 through Prime Street and working on 3 more. I remember signing you up not that long ago. Is that right?
Yeah, I think maybe a year ago, maybe a year ago.
That's so funny. I would have, like we were talking about earlier, I would have said 6 months, and it's been a year. But yeah, she's done. Guys, I mean, I don't know. She's working on 3 more. If you guys could use 4 to 7 more deals a year, then you should probably do it. If you don't need 4 to 7 more deals a year, yes, you pay 35%. But there's a lot of agents out there that paid their brokers 35% just for hanging their license.
And 2 of those are listings. One was a closed listing, and I'm working on another listing that they gave me, which was kind of cool.
I have done 3 deals with Prime Street. 2 of them have been 2 buyers. I have 1 more that's under contract with a new construction, and then 1 was a listing. So I'm on my way to my 4th deal with them. The one thing that I will tell you about Prime Street is, like, to go back to Tammy's point, you have to keep up with the app. You constantly have to update your leads, and you have to constantly tell them what you're doing with them. Otherwise, they will pause your account. They will send you messages. They will call you. They will text you. You have to really be on top of it.
Malvis, you've done these 4 deals. What's been the average, like, sales price, commission, whatever? So
all of them have been above 300. I got, my first one was 300, 390, yeah, 300. Then I had my listing. I listed a house. I listed for 330 and it was sold at 360. I have my last one that I sold in October was for 357. And then the one that I am scheduled to close either within the next 3 months is 357 in Winter Haven. And I'm in talks with 3 more leads that are ready to go. I'm just waiting for the pre-approval. But if you're thinking Prime Street, the app is a little annoying, but for me, in my case, to me, it doesn't matter. I update it as needed, and these are free leads. I only pay 35% when I close. And if the leads are not good, I just remove them. You just need to give them a justification for it.
Okay. So I was doing my calculator while you were doing that. So she has made roughly $29,000 off those 4 deals that she has taken home. Her part, the 65%, has been roughly $29,000. I don't know if you guys know this, but people work all year for that much money, some people, and you all you have to do is keep up an app and go do what you love to do anyway, do what you're supposed to do anyway. And that, guys, that's free money. Yes, she's paying 35%. We still just charge a transaction fee. She's paying 35% and closing deals. That's the only reason we cooperate with them, and they're a pain in our butts. The only reason we cooperate with them is for you guys to be more successful. So you guys can pick up an extra couple of deals a year, because that way we make an extra couple bucks a year. So that's why we cooperate with them. And yeah, keep up your apps, keep up all this stuff. It's not, it's not that hard to make, if you're gonna make 30 grand, it's not that hard to keep up an app. I'll keep up all your apps. You guys all give me 30 grand a year. I'll keep up all your apps. That's a lot if I get all of you doing it. So
Ryan, can I mention
Malvis.
something else about this? So
Yes.
when I first started getting these leads, I do have to say that I have received, I don't keep track of how many leads I claim. I have claimed a lot, and a lot of them are browsers. A lot of those people are thinking they're combined for 250 and they don't have money. They want down payment assistance. It's just people that are not really available, ready and qualified. But I've learned that I learned to screen them first. When I first started working with this app, I wasn't asking the right questions, and I had leads on my app for the longest time. But I have learned over the time that I am going to ask those financiers questions. If you're not ready, if you're thinking that you're going to buy a house without money, I'm going to remove you, because you need money to buy a house. So that's one thing. It took me some time to learn, but I learned, and that's how I keep up with my app and remove people as I don't see them qualified.
Okay, Malvis, you're 100% right, and I've been encouraging you guys not to waste your time, because time's a very valuable asset for you guys over the last couple of years. But those of you who've only been in the business for the last couple of years, you're going to have to learn to respect and appreciate buyers again. You're going to learn to respect and appreciate people who want to own homes, who are willing to make sacrifices, who are willing to put their last dollar down as a down payment, and squeeze a deal somehow because they dream of home ownership. And you're going to have to work with those people again. And you're doing the right thing for now. That's wonderful. And that's the advice that I've been giving as well, because we've been sitting here talking about it. If somebody doesn't have, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in the bank, they can't buy a house. Well, now it's starting to get where they can again, because this FHA, to buy a $300,000 house, they only have to have $10,500, and they can, one time borrow that from Uncle Joe, and they can do all kinds of crazy stuff, right? For people who are living paycheck to paycheck can buy houses again, and they want to buy houses again, and now their offers will actually be accepted. So it's heading that way. So I'm saying you're doing the right thing. Just start to realize that you're going to have to make some adjustments, and you're going to have to offer to help them go through credit repair and stuff like that, who we have not talked about in a couple of years, because we haven't needed credit repair people. They're dreaming credit repair people were. Now credit repair people are going to be buyers again. And so you're going to have to you're going to want to pipeline these people and work with them, and don't give up on them so easily. But guys, there's going to be easier deals out there again. You're not going to be showing 25 houses to people again. We're going to start talking about how you should show 8 houses, 3 good ones and 5 good ones and 3 dogs, and let them see what they get for what they want to spend, and then get them to actually get a house that they want to buy. So it's going to be, some deals are going to be easier, some deals are going to be harder. It's just the swing of the market. So keep that in mind, and value your buyers. Start valuing your buyers again. I know they've been, they're just bothering you with these stupid buyers that don't have 50 grand in the bank. Well, those people are buyers again. The people who have $8,000 in the bank are buyers again, or some of them $2,000 in the bank, and they're going to borrow it from Uncle Joe or Aunt Susie or whomever. All right.
So what about the interest rate? Is that being affected by buyers right now? Sorry, I missed the first part of the meeting. Wasn't sure about the interest rates and how that's affecting the market and the high prices.
Well, that's the only thing keeping buyers at bay, because buyers would be loving this market if the rates were down. Of course, I don't know how much the market would have changed if the rates stayed down. So yeah, of course it's affecting buyers, but we have more demand than anybody else. We talked about a little bit earlier about the imbalance of demand and supply here, because we have extraordinary demand because of being Florida, and people want to come here. So we don't have even supply and demand like most people do, or in some cases. I talked about the email we all got. I think we all got it, talking about the 10 states with the longest on market time. So and Malvis just received a Prime Street referral, because I got a ding about it. I get one every time you guys get a Prime Street or Op City. It's annoying. So yes, a lot of states have negative demand. New York and a couple of they gave the 10. The only one, there was Mississippi was the only ones in the South. So guys, just hang in there. Interest rates are bad. They ticked back down this week. You're looking at 5.5, 5.75, something like that. It looked like it ticked back down. So they tick up and down and up and down and up and down. We had Tom on a couple weeks ago. If you guys want to go back to your YouTube and watch the first couple of minutes of that, Tom goes on for 15 minutes or so on rates and what's going on with them. But they ticked back down after Tom was on, because he was at 5.75 to 6, and now they ticked back down. So talk to your lenders and see what the rates are, guys. You should know that stuff. Give your lenders a call, your lender partners a call. We talked about partners. We talked about how you guys should have a team, have lenders that are referring people back and forth with you. If they are not, then you're working with the wrong lender.
How do I get on the referral system?
Are you talking about the Prime Street in the Op City? Now you've been,
Yes,
Jack, you've been on Op City before, right?
No, I have not.
Okay, I'll forward you the email and give you the Prime Street information as well.
Perfect, thank you.
You bet. Any other questions or comments?
Just thank you, everyone, for all the feedback on the Op City and Prime Street. I appreciate that.
No problem. Romina, what company were you asking about? Prime Street, Op City?
I think she had a phone call. That's why she.
Okay. Well, Romina, if you're out there, call and contact me later. Let me know what you need. Any other questions or comments before we go? All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. We'll do something special next week. I've got something in mind. I haven't verified it yet. But I will see you guys next week, August the 10th. And take care, everybody. Have a good week.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.